Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll be making these illusion bodies. If you want to see how I achieve making this, please keep watching my video and see you guys in my tutorial. Okay, the first thing I did was to draft out my basic bodice pattern, which I did here. So the next thing is to take my skin net. This is skin net tool that we use for the illusion. So I folded it into two, and the next thing is for me to place the front pattern on the fold as seen, just like the way you cut your regular bodies on your fabric. So that's this exact way I'm doing this. So I'm trying to pin it down. So on the fold I'm going to put my pattern. This is my front pattern, and then use my pin to secure down the illusions, down the skin net. Then the next thing is for me to cut out the skin net for the front pattern. Yeah, so after cutting that, I'm going to do the same process to the back as well. Then remove my pins. Definitely, as I always say, please kindly pin down your fabric when you are cutting. Please don't waste material like the way I am wasting this one. I was tired and I just wanted to like do a video because I'm not posted in a while like I should. So yeah, so after doing that, I'm going to cut two of that. I'm cutting two of this, right? The front I'll cut two, and the back as well I'm going to cut two. Yeah, so after doing that, I'm going to do the same process to the back. Like I said, I'm going to cut two of that for the back as well. So I'm here, I'm folding my skin net into two as seen, right? Again, I'm repeating the process so that if you missed the front part, you can't watch it again and see the way I cut the front and the back. It's the same process, right? And the back neckline is kind of low, right? Because the style I'm making, the back neckline is kind of a bit low. So that's the zipper side, and I'll pin my illusion nets, my skin nets, yeah, onto with the pattern together. So after cutting that, you can see how it looks. So that's the back and that's the front. So I cut two each as seen, two of each. So yeah, so after doing that, next thing is to manipulate my pattern. What I'm doing here is to I'm just going to make a curve, but before making the curve from that armhole side, I'm going to mark 2 inches up. Yeah, you can see I'm just trying to show you where I marked. So but I'm marking 2 inches up, right? I don't want it to be like dragging, like to be showing the chest area. So I'm making it come up very well. As you can see, that is really up. Don't make it too down. I mean, don't make your curve to be, you know, to be down, because if not the chest will be showing, right? So I marked down 2 inches from the armhole side up. Then I just made a curve, like a freehand kind of curve, right? So the back, I'm just making like a straight, not so straight, just make it a bit curvy from the armhole to the zipper side. So just follow that armhole line and mark it all the way down to the zipper side, like that. So the next thing is to cut out my I'm cutting out the place that I marked. So I'm not going to be using that again because I've already cut out my illusion. So I'm not going to be using that. This is for the fabric that I'm going to be using, you know. So the lilac fabric. So I decided to use doll face because this dress that I want to make, I'm putting like an applique, you know, on it. So it's not it doesn't matter. That's why I'm using doll face, right? So because normally I use doll face on my lining, but because I'm putting an applique on it, so I don't really need to use a fabric that is like quality. Like it's not like it's not quality, but you know, you get what I mean. Okay, so the next thing is to pin down my bodies, my pattern, that pattern that I cut onto the doll face, right? So I'm just going to cut it out, but the upper side I'm just going to cut out, leave out. I'm going to come up rather by, I'm going to cut the middle as well there in front because it's like a separate kind of thing. So I'm going to cut the middle. Then the upper side to the arm area, I'm just going to mark out half an inch or quarter of an inch, anyone that works for you, but I think this is half an inch that I used. So I'm cutting it out. I'm leaving allowance of half an inch up at the upper side, right? So the next thing I'm doing here, so I'm going to cut two of that as well. I'm going to cut two of that as well, making four pieces, right? So one for the lining, the other for the main fabric. So I did the same process to the back as well. I used that pattern to cut the back as well, right? And that is the zipper side that I notched. So the so what I'm doing here, you can see that the front is already coming off, right? Like a arc, like a curve. I'm just trying to achieve that illusion stuff, right? So the next thing is to I'm trying to show you how it will look when I sew. So I'm placing that in front. You can see how it will look. This is what I want to achieve, right? So this is what I want to achieve. That's why I had to cut my illusion all the way down. It's just something that I just figured out myself. I don't know how other people do it, but this is the way I figured out myself, and it works perfectly well for me. So the next thing is to join, just like the way you join your normal bodies. I'll join the back to the front at the arm, at the shoulder, right? So after joining the back to the front by half an inch, I'm doing the same process to the other side of the illusion of the skin net. We cut two of that each, right? So it's just like I'm doing lining to lining, and then normal fabric to normal main fabric, the same process. So the next thing is for me to, after joining that, right? So here too, I'm trying to join the other side of um the skin net that I cut. I cut four, I mean two rather. Like it's just like I'm doing lining and main fabric, right? The same process. I'm doing the same thing here too. So I'll join it by the shoulder, half an inch. So after doing that, the next thing is for me, you can see how it is. So the front, I'm placing the front part to face me, right? So from the front, like placing the front to the front, and the back side will face up, right, at the other side. So I'm going to join that, then join the armhole as seen, then come to the neckline and join it all the way around as well, and the armhole. Yeah. So the next thing is for me, after doing that, I had to turn it inside out to make like a proper, bodies kind of. So I've already done that. So the next thing is for me to take my lilac doll face and then sew that way all the way down from the armhole all the way down to that curve. Then sew that one to all the way down to that curve, right? So that's the lining and as well as the main fabric. I'm using the same material, right? So the next thing is for me, after doing that, I'm just gonna notch my curve because it's a curve, so you have to notch it and iron it. Please make sure you iron your fabric, when you are done. Always iron your fabric. So guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. I'll appreciate that. See, I'm even speaking too much grammar. I'll appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And please kindly try and like my videos, please. Thank you. Okay, I'm trying to notch down the curve and turn it over, and I'm going to go over to my iron and press it down really flat, right? So after doing that, I'm going to do the same process to the back part of the doll face. So this is the back part, right? So I've already notched down my zipper allowance. You can see that notch part is the zipper allowance. So I'm just going to sew it all the way round as well. Like at the top, I'm going to sew it all the way around, but I'm going to leave the zipper allowance, right? I'm going to leave the zipper allowance opened, like that 1 inch. I'm not going to sew it there. So the next thing is to take the side. I'm going to, because the sewing allowance I left is 1.5, but I'm using 1 inch because I've already joined and done all those things, so it will remain like 1 inch. So I'm going to sew from the side 1 inch all the way down. The reason why I left 1.5 allowance for this is because I know that I'm going to sew a lot, so that it won't be smaller than the measurements, right? So the next thing is to join the other side as well. Open the middle part, join the lining to lining, the back and the front rather, lining to lining, fabric to fabric, and go by 1 inch all the way down, right? So after doing that, Next thing is for me to iron press my fabric to make it flat and neat. So yeah, I'm done doing that. So I'm just trying to adjust. You can see that middle part, right? The middle part, that's the front. I'm going to join it together like that. Just join it together a bit, just a tiny bit, right? Yeah, there in the middle. So after doing that, you will see that I've done that already here. You can see the middle part is joined and the back part is attached to the front part. So the next thing is for me to take that skin net, then I'm going to place it inside, right? I'm going to place it inside of that lilac doll face bodies that I made. So after pinning it inside like that, so make sure the side seam are joining each other like that. Make it very equal, right? Just make it very equal. Just pin your fabric down, make it equal so that it will be enough for it won't like one side will not be jumping up and the other side will not be jumping up and it will look tacky and stuff. No. So make the side equal, make sure it's very equal. Then pin your fabric down and top stitch, right? So make sure you pin it down and top stitch. So here I'm trying to explain, but don't sew it from that zip 1 inch allowance that we left opened. Sew it after the 1 inch allowance, right? Sew it all the way down. Please, please and please pin your fabric together, right? So this is the way it looks after top stitching, so you can see the inside and you can see the outside, right? So this is how it looks. Thank you so much guys for watching my video. Hope to see you guys in my next video.